Monobot! Monobot! Monobot!
I hear those things are awfully loud.
It flies as softly as a cloud.
MONOBOT is an indie platformer game that lets you take control of Mono, a service robot, where you guide them through a hostile and desolate world. The game comes from the publisher Ukuza, a relatively new company, and was developed by Dreamsmith Studio, a humble team of 6 game developers who generously provided me with a code to play the game and give you this review. You can find a link to purchase MONOBOT in the description below. Now, I've avoided any emails relating to publishers in the past. Hell, I very recently got an email for a review on e-color strip lights? Because I apparently made a video about them. I'm guessing they searched for videos with the word light in them. Anyways, normally I email back explaining my position and lob that email right into the bin. Except when I read this email about MONOBOT, it sounded, well, human and genuine. Kind of ironic seeing as it's a game about a robot. But I was intrigued. I emailed back, I got a reply 2 hours later, and hey, now I'm here. If you take away anything from this video, it's that being a friendly recipient on the other side of an email can do you a world of good. Mono starts off as a simple universal service robot, the modularized, orientative, non-weaponized operator robot, also known as Monobot. By watching and interacting with your environment, you as the player start to get the unsettling feeling that the new world you've awoken to is a bit, well, chaotic. As you stumble your way through, you begin to unlock fragments of a lost memory or bits of missing data, following the lives of characters through journal entries to drafts of an autobiography, all of which highlights humanity's suppression on the galactic stage and their struggles with other spacefaring races. While not all story points are text-heavy, most are very thick, but you do get the occasional touch of artwork depicting humans, which I was not expecting to see in the game. It was a nice touch that kind of brought you out of this grim future world you're forced to navigate. But get used to finding entries that are out of your way if you want a complete archive. Overall, the controls are fairly simple. There's jump, pull, lift, and eventually magnet power and teleportation powers on specific boxes. Once you get to grips with your Monobot and its limitations, you're often given a new power to play around with, keeping the environment fresh and engaging. There's even a vehicle later on that you get to use in a variety of ways. While your Monobot itself is finely tuned, save for the occasional lack of momentum in your jump, the surroundings aren't quite so carefully thought out. Some puzzles aren't too clear-cut, and take a number of times of trial and error or death to get it right. Sometimes you know the solution to the puzzle, but it's just getting the game to cooperate with you to get it right. That's to be expected in a 2D platformer game. But some things go a bit too far and ask players to react to threats with little to no time for error, especially with your first confrontation with these bigger dudes. Unless you know exactly what's about to happen, there's no way a normal person could react to them in time. I thought it was a one-off, but no, it does happen again later down the line. Does it ruin the game? Of course not, but it does draw you out momentarily. Throughout the game, there are satisfying puzzles to start up reactors or open up a door. These take on the form of classic-looking mini-games like Pipe Dream. I loved getting to these and solving them. I just wish there were more. They're simple, but don't give you any instructions as to what you're supposed to do. You just have some nice flashy lights to indicate whether what you're doing is right or wrong. Except the third puzzle. I was stuck a bit as to where this little blob of radioactive light had to go, before realizing the tubes were, connected. That's just me being a bit slow. As I progressed through the game, I was pondering on the art and design, and what it reminded me of, especially some of the later parts of the game. Eventually, my brain landed on 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. The 2D animation, the sci-fi elements, and the story art of Monobot definitely has a more anime vibe to it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. You know me and my sound design. I always look forward to it. So what does MONOBOT have to offer? So yeah, music isn't its strong point. Even when it's present, it gets washed out by the various sounds playing, which, I might add, are definitely a highlight of the game. What the music fails to do, the sound effects make up for it. The groan of machinery in the background, the satisfying clunkiness of an elevator, the environment falling apart. It brings the whole scene to life. The sci-fi beat boops are on point, and when there is a noticeable tune playing, it's usually a subtle, bleak song that reflects the world around you. The most distinctive set of music surfaces when you're outside the various factories and facilities, especially when you get the wide shots of the deserted landscape in the back. But the songs are fleeting and often disappear quickly. If you like platformer puzzles with a unique sci-fi twist to aid you in progressing through the game, you'll be satisfied with MONOBOT. There are a few tweaks that could be tightened, better response time to MONOBOT's movement, possibly some prompt buttons to give you some direction, and the occasional glitch that turns MONOBOT into a ghost. I had to quit out before it reset, and unfortunately it set me back a puzzle I had just finished. Overall, it doesn't detract from its purpose of telling a story about a service robot on a desolate world who slowly uncovers the fate of humanity.